Get ready with me while I talk about surviving HBCU cheer teams. More specifically, surviving Hampton University's cheer team. Because there were some things, actually the whole thing. I didn't know what I was doing going into an HBCU cheer team, but here we are. Majority of clubs and teams in HBCUs mock Greek life. I had no prior experience with Greek life until I went to my HBCU. If you are planning on joining an HBCU cheer team, you will be joining a sorority dang near. So just take that as you will, do it at your own risk. And this is not for all cheer teams, but this was for Hampton University. I do believe that they now abolished whatever the hell they had going on, but at the time they didn't. And this was literally, what, 2022, 2023? It's only 2025. So there were about like 3 tiers on this cheer team, I would say 3 tiers. There was White Squad, there was Blue Thunder, and then there were the Hoorahs. The Hoorahs is what you were essentially trying to get to. The Hoorahs were the highest tier, and you became a Hoorah after you crossed. And I kid you not, they called it crossing. If you were not a Hoorah, you were either White Squad or Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder was the girls who tried out in the spring, like before we got to campus. So if you were a freshman coming in, you would try out while you're still in high school or that summer. And then if you made it, then you went to camp over summer. I did not try out. I tried out when I got to school. So me and like 30 girls tried out. And if you made it in October, then you were then White Squad. Okay? So Hampton University school colors are blue and white. Once you're on the cheer team, you can't wear blue until you cross. If they catch you wearing blue, it's grass, like literally. And when we had made it, it was around homecoming time, and they had advertised that they needed flyers. They needed flyers and tumblers. Oh, what was I? A flyer and a tumbler. So I tried out, I made it. Anyhow, let me tell you more of the ridiculous rules on the Hampton University cheer team. Okay, so you know they called themselves Hoorahs or whatever. That was their thing. They had a little sign that looks like this. We could not throw this sign up. They would do their sign in their little dances. Like in their cheer dances, they would throw up the hoorah. But if you were not a hoorah, you had to throw up a fist. And if you did not throw up a fist, or you threw up anything other than a fist that looked like a hoorah symbol, babes, good luck. Good freaking luck. They would text us and be like, stadium, gray shorts, pink sports bra. At 6:15, practice at 6:30. If I had known then what I know now, I absolutely would not join that team. I absolutely would not do it. Like, it's just no. They went through our phones. If your phone rang during practice, everybody's running like 30 laps or running a stadium. Somebody's phone rang during practice, and they're like, whose phone is ringing? Whose phone is ringing? Everybody's scared as hell. Whoever's phone was ringing, they ain't fess up to it. They just, because they didn't want to get in trouble. They're scared. I'd be scared too, because they was just trying to make us run. Like, why are you making us run so much? Because somebody's phone is ringing during practice. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. You would have to have your phone on super D&D for practice. Actually freaking ridiculous. And I remember this. That girl, she wasn't even a coach. I'm a name drop because I don't care. Mel's, she was not even a coach, bro. She was just on a team before us, and she had already graduated. Graduated terrorizing 18-year-olds, mind you. Like, girl, you're crazy. So she ended up make everybody get in the line. Everybody show you the phone, showed the call log. Whoever it was obviously deleted it. But she's going through. My phone's in military time. She's like, what's this? What time is this? I can't read this. Military time, my nigga. Be for real. It's not that hard to read. And then she's like, who's me padre? My dad? Like, my dad had called me earlier, but it was way before practice. I was just like, bruh, you doing too much. It was around homecoming time, and they told us, mind you, this is my first homecoming, and it's an HBCU homecoming. The coach said, be in Holland, which was the little gym area, the gym building. Be in Holland at like 8 a.m. My whole phone just fell, bro. Like, that was actually crazy. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So my first HBCU homecoming, they told us to be in Holland at 8 a.m. so that we could like go through the parade with them. Mind you, the coach said this. They didn't show up till 12. They went through the parade without us, and they made us wear Hampton University shirts, red lips. The red lip was probably the worst part. Red lip, and we just had to be like game day ready, makeup done or whatever. You also could not post in the uniform unless you wore a hoorah. Babe, when I left that school, I posted my picture so quick, like, and I didn't care. And then I had the coach, not even the coach, I'm sorry, she wasn't even a captain. She literally DM'd me. She was like, "You are not a hoorah. Take this down now." Mind you, it wasn't even a post, it was a story post. And I said, I literally sent her a sad face emoji. Cause what are you talking about, bro? Like, let's be so serious. This is not a sorority. Y'all are doing too much. It's just a cheer team, bro. And then when I would post, it was like 6 shares under my story post. I was like, oh my God. And then I had one girl, she slid up with a dead emoji. She thought she ate with that. And it's like, it's not that deep. I can go into detail about what else they did and their little hazing process. But I just honestly, I don't think it's talked about enough how HBCU cheer teams try and mock D9 culture, and they do it poorly and inefficiently, and they also don't make it known. Oh, also, we couldn't let people know we're on the cheer team. If we're going to cheer practice, you could not tell people, oh, I'm going to cheer practice. One of the girls on the team, she used to always say she was going to bowling practice. Girl, you don't bowl. Like, you literally could not let people know. You had to be discreet about going to cheer practice. All right, that was surviving HBCU cheer, more specifically, surviving the hoorahs. Let me know if you want a part 2. Bye. Hi, everybody. I'm back with part 2 of surviving the Hampton University hoorahs. Let's get started. Before we start, I would like to provide everybody with a definition of what hazing is straight from Google itself. Feel free to form your own conclusions about the circumstances that I'm about to explain to you. A large group of the hoorahs think I'm doing this for clout, and another large group of the hoorahs think I'm doing this for revenge because I did not make the team the second time I tried out. That's not why. That was back in 2023. It's 2025. I'm doing this to bring awareness to HBCU culture and hazing and why that is not okay. So there's my dirt. I tried out the second time. I didn't make it. That was actually coming in the coming parts. But had to put that out there so nobody says I'm not giving them the full story, not giving them the full story. Oh, and they asked me for their uniform back. I still have it. Come get it back in blood. Okay, there we go. Now back to the receipts. It's important to also note that I did not make it the second time, not because of any lack of skill or anything, but because they picked and they chose. That's exactly what happened. It was rigged. I will explain that in the coming videos. And anytime you see me saying H word in these messages, that is hoorah. We were not allowed to say hoorah, so we had to say H word. I have received multiple hate comments, multiple spam posts, multiple Instagram posts, multiple Instagram notes posts, but nobody has DM'd me. Nobody has texted me. Nobody has said anything to my face. This video was supposed to bring light to the Hampton University cheerleaders hazing the other cheerleaders, but I think I'm going to reply to the hate that I got first. Let's start out with Kay Kennedy, Kayla, Bayla, whatever you want to call yourself, boo. Come to the front. I see you've made an Instagram post as well as a story post. Is that a cap? Who helped you get that? Oh, it was me. Remember we were in the same stats class? Oh, I was a freshman, you were a junior? Ring a bell? Ring a bell? You were failing that stats class. Ring a bell? I was passing the stats class. You asked me multiple times on multiple different occasions for the homework answers, and I sent it to you. But when we would go in class, you act like you ain't know me. Didn't even crack a smile. Not even a little nod. You walk straight in and out, in and out. All right. Let's keep going. Topic is still on you though. But let's introduce some new characters. The ones who called me a... We are all unfamiliar with Sinai, but she was on White Squad with me. She was supposed to be my cheer sister for life. That didn't happen, unfortunately. But it's okay, because she's always been a yes man. Now we have Sinai and we have friend in the middle. And then friend on the side, I'm not too worried about y'all. But you guys think I'm chasing clout? I had the followers beforehand. I don't want clout. Anyway, let's deep the situation. There's another person on the team. We're going to call her Lacey because she has not done anything to me. I'm not name dropping her. So Lacey called me in distress in April and she said, hey, can you do my hair? Because one of the other teammates failed to do her hair. She folded on her. So I said, yes, I can do your hair. This was after I did not make the team, and I still went over there and I still did her hair for her. And I already had a client that day. Out of the kindness of my heart, I was still getting paid, but I didn't have to do that. Now, this is Kayla Bayla's roommate. All right, Kendall in the middle. Let's talk about you for a minute. I don't have to say anything about you because your so-called cheer sisters already said it about you. Yeah, you know when you're a braider and when you're doing hair? Sometimes you can see their phone. Matter of fact, all the time you can see their phone. I never purposely look at anybody's phone, but babe, the phone was right there and I seen her picture. I have chosen not to show this girl's face because of the comments made by her cheer sisters, and I do not want anybody to egg those comments on or agree in the comments calling this girl ugly of any kind of sorts. Thank you. It was a blue background, like the regular blue grad background for high school. You had all your pictures in the background, all the pictures of the different schools in the background, and they sent it to each other, and they said something along the lines of, dead emoji, she's ugly. That's what your sister said. You want to call me a B? There you go. And for everybody to be in my comments acting crazy is actually insane when you know I have dirt on every single one of y'all, with screenshots at that. So let's move on to AJ. Ashley Elizabeth Johnson. Come to the front, babes. White Squad was not just a one-year thing. White Squad was multiple generations. So if you see anything that says Big Three was the White Squad year before us. They were now Hoorahs at this time. So if you see B3 or Big Three, that's White Squad before us. And AJ was actually in White Squad, so I'm really surprised that she's acting like this in my comments. I actually was going to cross your name out, and I wasn't going to say anything about you specifically, but since you already took it upon yourself to come in my comments and tell me that your experience was different and hoorah this and hoorah that, let's get into it. So you guys remember in Burning Sands, there was a scene, and this is a really, really common thing with hazing and D9 culture. They call you up, they say, hey, come drive us to go get some food. Then they order like 100 chicken sandwiches and make you pay for it all. Yeah, that was an attempt done by Miss AJ, the queen herself. Screenshots coming. Pause to read them. And I was so confused. Like I said, again, I didn't know what D9 culture was, so I sent it to my cheer sister. I said, why are they asking us if we got cars? Mind you, we're freshmen. What do the senior hoorahs and the junior hoorahs need the freshmen's cars for? Odd. And also, we weren't allowed to use the blue lunch trays at lunch because, you know, our school is blue and white. But they had green lunch trays. They did have green lunch trays. They were harder to find, obviously, because why do we have green lunch trays at a blue school? And I do have some testimonials from people who were on the team and decided to quit. These brave people have come in my DMs and told me about it. Pause to read if you would like. And guess what? I'm not lying. It's crazy for everybody to come in here and tell me that I'm lying when I have screenshots and I have proof. And to Miss Brianna Nicole, you're in my comments saying that you didn't do anything and not to involve your name or say your name because you didn't haze me, blah, blah, blah. I'm aware of that. She did not do anything to me, but that dead emoji, that was very much you. Cry about it. This is going to be a series at this point because I have so much more dirt. I have a whole notes on my iPad filled with a lot of stuff, and I have a whole album in my phone with screenshots of everybody and everything. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. Oh, and if you didn't see your name in this video, don't worry. You're coming up soon. Jadalyn and Jayla, I think it's Jayla. You're next. Bye. Hi guys, this is part 3 of surviving Hampton University's cheer team. Now that all the ridiculous, unnecessary drama is out the way, let's get into the real tea of what they had us doing. We started the team in October. You know, basketball season usually ends around March-ish. We cheered 1 or 2 games at the end of the season, at the very end of basketball season. So when we would get ready for basketball games inside of the locker rooms, there was this big pretty mirror. It was like a big pretty Hollywood mirror. I don't have a good picture of it, but I'm going to insert a picture of it. And we were not allowed to look in that mirror. Only hoorahs got to look in that mirror. We couldn't take pictures in the mirror. We couldn't look in the mirror. They catch you looking in the mirror, taking a picture in the mirror, here is grass, like I said. There was another little tiny mirror on the side that we were allowed to take pictures on. I'll put some pictures up there of the tiny mirror that we were allowed to take pictures on. So we took pictures on the tiny mirror. We weren't allowed to look at the big mirror. Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, that's mad ridiculous, you know? One day when coach wasn't at practice, everybody's in their sports bra and their Nike Pros. That's what you had to wear. Could not wear a shirt. You could not wear pants. You had to wear sports bra, Nike Pros, or some like Sophie cheer shorts or something. So I was doing that. And sometimes in Holland, which is the gym that we used to practice in, we practiced in the hallway, not in the actual gym. They would have like basketball nights where like the guys would come and play basketball. The girls would watch. You know, it's college. That's how they do. So guys would walk in and out during practice, like through the little hallway that we were in. So we're doing our little practices. And I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm a little top heavy. Like I'm skinny, but I'm top heavy. So, you know, if we're doing a little dance, you know, something is gonna move. So I'm doing the dance that they're telling me to do. I'm doing the cheer that they're telling me to do. And here comes Jayla. You said you were excited to see her part, so here you go, boom. Here comes Jayla. She literally yells out, and she's like what are you doing? Like, stop doing that. Like, you're looking for attention. Like, your boobs are moving everywhere. You see these boys walking in and out of here. You just want attention from them. Mind y'all, I'm wearing a gray Nike sports bra, high support. It's not my fault that I have big boobs, and it's not my fault that y'all don't let us wear shirts. Like, I would wear a shirt if you would let me wear a shirt. It was actually pretty uncomfortable when she said that, and there were people walking in and out as she said that. Like, why would you say that? So in Holland, there is this like big entrance, and that's where we usually practiced, and there was enough space for all 30 girls to practice. There was enough space for us to have 4 lines, like 4 windows, and everybody do their cheers and dances or whatever. There was much space for everybody to move. That's how big it was. But White Squad was not there. They stuck us in the corner in like the little hallway. It was like, you know, where like any school building, there's another hallway where the bathroom is. That's where they stuck us, but it was on the other side. There was no bathroom. It was more like, it was just like classrooms and stuff if you kept going down. They stuck us in the hallway to practice, and when they made us practice, they would have one person, usually the captain or somebody, a hoorah that already knows the dances. They would show us the dance once or twice, and they say, oh, you got it? And then we'd be like, no, not really. They'd be like, okay, catch it this time, because I'm not doing it again. So then they do the dance, then they leave, and then we have to teach ourselves the dance and try and perfect it ourselves. Mind you, we don't know the style. They have a different style of dancing and cheering. That's what they said themselves, not me. I think it looked pretty regular to me. But they said they have a different style, and you have to catch the style and catch the drift and all that. So they would like literally show it to us once, twice, and then expect us to know it. And we're in that corner for those 4 or 5 hours during practice. And then at the end of practice, they all sit down on the side by the wall, and then they tell us to do the cheer or do the dance. They put on music, and they tell us to do the cheer or the dance that they taught. And then we do it, we mess up, we run. It was literally all that. Oh, I'm forgetting something, y'all. In Holland, there's 2 sides of Holland. It's literally a rectangle, y'all. It's a rectangle. Let's say this is one side, this is one side. This is the windows, this is another windows, and you walk in from here. Y'all, on this side, hoorahs only. Hoorahs and coaches only. You cannot sit on this side where the couches are. We had to sit on this side. If you're not a hoorah, you sit on this side. If you are a hoorah or a coach, you can sit on this side. Absolutely ridiculous. They used to tell us to get ready for media day all the time. Like, they had media day where, you know, where you take the pictures, your little palms in the uniform. Even though we couldn't post the pictures, we were still gonna take them. Coach Bree said, yeah, you guys are gonna take the media day pictures. Media day comes, and we are in the corner the whole time. Mind y'all, they're inside the big gym. They're taking their pictures and stuff, and they just left us in the corner, and we couldn't leave. Like, we were at practice. We were there for like 4 hours while they're taking their pictures just in the corner, and they will peek their heads in every 2 seconds to like see if we were practicing during media day when we're supposed to be taking pictures. They left us in the corner. Well, my light just died, so I'm taking this as a sign to end part 3. Part 4 coming soon about the secret practices they had us doing and more. Hi guys, this is part 4 of surviving Hampton University's cheer team. This is the video about the coaches. Everybody's asking me, where were the coaches, where were the adults involved in this? And I'm going to tell you exactly where they were, right there in front of our faces, not doing a single thing. We only had one coach. Her name was Coach Bree. I don't know if it's Brianna or if it's just Bree, but Coach Bree Ruff, you already made yourself known in the comments, so I'm gonna make you known in this video. And then we had 2 of her friends. One of them was Ashley Simpson. She was there. The other one, I'm not gonna give her name because she didn't do anything to me, and she was there like maybe like 10% of the practices. We're gonna call her Coach Parker. She was there barely. She's not even gonna be in here. So we have Simp, which is Ashley Simpson. We have Coach Bree, the main coach. And then we have Melissa McCarthy, or Mel's, as you all know her. She wasn't really a coach. Mind you, none of these women were on payroll. They were not getting paid by the university. They were just there on their own time helping out. Coach Bree was barely ever at practice. She would come in 30 minutes late to practice, an hour late to practice. Sometimes she would come the last 30 minutes, the last hour. I don't know what she was doing. That's her personal business. She was barely facilitating practice. And when she did come to practice, multiple people can attest to this. She would just be on her laptop. Mind you, she works in mental health, guys. She graduated with her bachelor's in psychology. She works in mental health. She'd just be on her laptop the whole time while Mel's was running practice with Kay Kennedy, Kayla, Bayla, Kayla. Mel's and Kayla were the main ones running practice, and Coach Bree would just come in whenever she wanted to, and then was just on her laptop typing. I think she might have been working, which is good for her, but she was not paying attention to the things that happened, and when she was, she just turned a blind eye to it. And when Simp was at practice, Simp ain't know what was going on for her. She was just there, like she was just there to be the adult, I think so. Now, Coach Bree, in the comments, you put hi, hello, she's not telling the truth, LOL. I have evidence of that. Maybe I'll share, but what would that look like when she could just spew this narrative and keep you all entertained? I am so happy that this is keeping you entertained with your LOL, and I'm so happy that this is making you laugh, and you're saying that I'm not telling the truth, but I am in fact telling the truth. And your side of the truth is just you trying to blackmail me with a voicemail of me crying to you, actually, and I have proof of that. The reason I was crying to her in these voice messages was because I felt like I was being hazed by Melissa, and I told her about this. And let me tell you the story from beginning to end. So we're all in practice one day, and I don't remember what we did in practice to make them mad, but Mel's was mad. It was only Mel's and Simp, and Simp's daughter was also there. She was, I think, maybe like 11 at the time. Don't talk about kids, please. I don't play that. Thank you. So it was just Mel's and Simp. I believe we were doing a drill where we called cheers. If anybody messes up, doesn't say the words, something, you have to do an exercise or whatever. So we're doing that over and over and over again because people keep messing up and messing up and messing up. So towards the end of practice, we're still doing this, and we have to go do wall sits. Wall sits are my enemy, y'all. I do not like wall sits. Like, I don't know. Like, I just can't do it. So we're doing the wall sits, and we are sitting there in the wall sit. I don't know how long it was. I really don't remember. But I am struggling, dying doing these wall sits. I'm just like, I'm confused. Like, how's everybody doing these wall sits? Like, what in the world? I am dying doing these wall sits. So then we go back again. We do the cheer. Somebody messes up. Back to the wall for wall sits. And the wall that we are on, we're in the actual gym this time. The bleachers are put up on the wall. There's this one hoorah. Her name, I'm not going to put it out there, but we're going to call her Hayden. So Hayden said, Kendra, there's a little ledge on there. Just sit on the ledge if you cannot do the wall sits. So I said, okay. Mind you, if anybody falls on these wall sits, everybody's gonna have to run. I don't want anybody to be mad at me. So everybody's sitting on the ledge, including Hayden. Hayden, a whole bunch of hoorahs, everybody's sitting on the ledge. And you can tell because everybody's knees are leveled at one place in the wall sits. It's the tiniest ledge too, y'all. I wish I could tell y'all how tiny it was. It was literally like so small. Like I was still struggling to do wall sits. Anybody who was sitting on the ledge was still struggling to do these wall sits. But you know, it was still helping a little bit. So then Mel's told Sim's daughter to go around and go and look and see if I was sitting on it. Me specifically, not anybody else, just me. And then she came back and she said, yes, she was sitting on it. And obviously I was. Mind you, I'm still struggling. I'm over there dang near in tears doing these Mel sits. I was in tears doing these wall sits, and Mel's comes over and she's like, everybody get up. Kendra, you're cheating the wall sits. Everybody take laps. And then she's actually like, oh no, never mind. Matter of fact, go to that back wall over there. So I go to the back wall. Y'all, mind you, whenever somebody messes up, whenever somebody does something, the whole team gets in trouble for it. Like, remember when that phone rang? The whole team got in trouble for it. This time around, I was singled out. I did cheat my wall sits, but other people were cheating their wall sits too. And a hoorah was the one who told me to cheat the wall sits along with her. So I'm not understanding why I was the only one singled out, because she did not like me. That's a fact. So I went to the wall and she made me do the wall sits on the wall without the stadiums, like the bleacher right there, and she made me sit in a high V with a wall sit and sing the fight song very slowly. The fight song is all hail to the Hampton Pirates, rulers of the sea. All hail to the Hampton Pirates, the best team for you and me. I'm not singing the rest, but it goes on for a little minute. I don't know how I got through those wall sits. By the grace of God, I did the wall sit. I got up. I'm dang near in tears. My legs are shaking. Then she tells me to take laps around the gym. Mind you, where's Coach Bree? She was not there at practice. It's just Melissa making these. Everybody's in the middle of the gym just watching me. Like, they're just standing there watching me. Like, I wish y'all could see the horror on their faces. They actually looked scared. Like, a lot of them didn't like me, but they actually looked like they felt bad for me. So I had to run around the gym after that. And you may call this a regular schmegular punishment, but from what she had done before to what she had done then, she definitely singled me out. And that's the fact of the matter. Take it how you want it. See it how you want it, okay? So that's the whole wall sit story, how I cheated my wall sits and how I felt like Mel's was singling me out and hazing me. So then that night, I actually sent a message to Coach. It had me up all night. It was, I think, around 12 or 1 a.m. when I sent her a text message, and she texted me back almost immediately because Simp had already told her about it. Okay, so in the message, I texted her and I asked her to talk, and I told her, can we talk in the morning? And she told me, hey, what's going on? So it's 12:46 that night. I sent her a voice message of me crying, bawling my eyes out to her, and I was just spilling out my guts, telling her I feel like I'm being hazed by Mels and all the other girls on the team. And I said, this stuff only happens when you aren't present at practice. And I said, I don't know what on earth I did for her to treat me like this, but I am sorry. The way she talks to me just sounds like she wants me to purposely disrespect her or something, and it's not gonna happen. I'm not a disrespectful girl. I mind my business. I read my Bible. I'm so sorry that you have to listen to all this right now. I just needed to get that out. And she said, I listened. We will talk tomorrow. Get some rest. Smiley face emoji. So I'm thinking, okay, she heard me. I'm being heard. No, Kendra, you were not heard. The next day at practice, we had practice as normal. It was a pretty gloomy day for me, as you can tell by the situation that had happened the previous day. And after practice, she released everybody. She said, everybody go home. Kendra, stay after, let me talk to you. And all my sisters on White Squad stayed. Every single one of them stayed and waited for me. So they're just lingering around, and she's talking to me, and she's like, so about the message that you sent me yesterday, I think it was very disrespectful of you to accuse Mel's of what she did, being as that you cheated your wall sis, da 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 da. And she was just going on saying I'm disrespectful and that it wasn't good for me and I need to apologize to Mel's. And I am sitting there just like, sorry y'all. And I am just sitting there and I'm just like, I said all this to you. I came to you as a coach, and all you could do was tell me that my feelings are invalid and tell me to apologize to the person who I felt like was treating me in a certain way. Literally, I'm so sorry. I literally don't like crying, bro. Like, and it takes a lot for me to cry. Like, so then after she said all that, we all left. White Squad, we were all walking back to our dorms outside of Holland. And as we were walking in a group, and I was in the back of the group, and they were walking, and I just stopped, and I just started crying. And my cheer sister was the first one to give me a hug, and she hugged me, and then everybody came and hugged me, all of them, even Sanai, the one that didn't like me. Like, she literally gave me a hug, because everybody knew that what was going on was wrong, and everybody felt so bad for me, and I just didn't understand. Like, I was the black sheep of the cheer team. Like, nobody liked me because I spoke up for myself. I stood up for myself. Anytime something like this would happen, I would always go to Coach Bree about it, and nothing was freaking done. And this time was just like, wow. Like, so she made me apologize to Mel's, and I didn't want no trouble, so I apologized to Mel's, and I'll insert the screenshot right here too, so y'all can see me apologizing to her. So these things would happen. Ashley Simpson witnessed it. Coach Bree witnessed it. Nobody did anything. And Coach Bree, as former Miss Virginia and a current member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority and my former coach, I really expected more from you. I expected so much more from you, and you really disappointed me. You disappointed me before, but as the years have went on and you've had time to think about this, you disappointed me even more, threatening me with blackmail of my voicemails of me crying to you about how I'm being hazed. That's your truth, that's your proof, and you're proud of it. I hope you're happy. And it really goes to show that people really turn a blind eye. You can ask for help however much you want, and sometimes you just will not get it. That's the most emotional thing that happened to me on that team. And I have multiple stories from other people telling me about how things happened to them, and Coach wasn't there, and it was like Mel's and Anissa and Jayla that did it to them. And that will be in the next video, or if I can include it in this video, I will, but I think this video is already too long. So that's that. That's the coaching staff. Hi guys, this is part 5 of Surviving Hampton University Cheer, and this will be the second to last video, and everything in this video is going to be really quick, straight to the point. Keep up. Anissa Williams, during camp, they would do hit drills, and you hit one of the girls' thighs so hard that she got bruises on her thighs. These girls were being overworked so much during camp that one of them got 103-degree fever in August because of the things that they were making them do. These girls would be punished for ridiculous things such as laughing, or you'd be told to run laps in extreme weather. And mind you, they were not supposed to be outside at the time. When they went inside, Jayla actually told them to wipe the blue turf stains off of their elbows and their knees so that the coach would not know that they had them outside. If you are an athlete, you know that you're not supposed to be outside in certain types of weather, and that is exactly what they had them doing. One of the crossing rituals included getting the girls drunk and unknowingly leading them into the football room where the football players were there, and this is where they usually watch their football tapes, but instead they watched the girls dance to the marching band music, and they rated them 1 through 10. Another thing these girls had to do when they crossed was they were sent a random location, and they had to go to the location, and they stayed there all night, and they made them practice doing dances, cheers, whatever it may be, and they did that all night without the coach's permission, and the coaches were not present for any of this. And the people who orchestrated this past year was Kayla Bass, Anissa Williams, and Kendall Tillett. These hoorahs hounded some girls to send them money to throw them a baby shower for one of the other hoorahs, and they were not invited to the baby shower, and when they confronted them about it, they got mad. Their camp schedule was ridiculous hours. They had conditioning from 6 to 8 a.m., then they had breakfast at 9 a.m., and they had practice all up until 6 p.m. with food breaks in between. And at 6 p.m., that was when the coaches left, and there was captain's practice. Captain's practice went on without the coaches, just the captains, and they would orchestrate practice until whenever they pleased. They let the girls go whenever they wanted to, and there was no adult supervision there. The current coach actually put a stop to captain's practice sometime during the camp. but the former coach did not care and let captain's practice go on. They very often made people run stadiums, and after the stadiums, people used the bathroom, and until the last person came out the bathroom, everybody who was out before them had to hold a plank until the last person came out. Personally, when I was on the team, they would make us run laps outside and do exercises and conditioning outside before Coach Bree got to practice. And Mels would tell us, you guys have 2 minutes to get to Holland before Coach Bree gets there. If she gets there before y'all gonna see what we gonna do. I specifically remember there was one day we were running outside and we were doing stadiums. It was cold outside and I was sweating so bad that my wig came off. During this same day while we were doing stadiums, one of the girls started throwing up because of the toll that these stadiums had on her body. And instead of helping the girl that's throwing up, they said, if you don't stop throwing up and if you don't keep running, y'all are gonna have another stadium. During camp, these girls were not allowed to talk to anybody. So if you were on campus during camp time, if you're on the band, if you're on the majorette team, you may have noticed that the Blue Thunder cheerleaders were not able to talk to you. That wasn't their fault. That was from a result of hazing. This is another testimony that I would like to share, but it's too long to read. Pause to read if you would like. These videos were made to shed light on Hampton University's hazing process in the past. I do believe now that they are no longer hazing and there are no more hoorahs. Like, nobody will ever cross to be a hoorah again on Hampton University's cheer team. The girls on the team have been receiving harassment from people on campus and people online, and I ask that you please stop harassing them because they have not done anything wrong. Now, the girls who graduated, this video was made to shed light on Hampton University's cheer team and their hazing process, but that's not all. SLP is student leadership. Why are our current student leaders hazing our future student leaders? It does not make sense. I actually was going to join SLP. I went through the process. They took us inside of the chapel, the church on campus, and they had a paper for us to sign. It was a waiver, and it said that Hampton University is not responsible for any harm caused to the student, including death. Why is that on a waiver to join student leadership? Actually, Student Leadership Haze Week is going on right now. If you would like, you can search up the hashtag. I'll put it up here on Instagram, and all their little videos will pop up of what they have to do. We had to make various posts, and this is the embarrassing part of hazing. I want to thank each and every single one of you for all of your support throughout this, but it does not end here. This was just my story with cheer. Hampton University has to be held accountable for their actions.